November 20, that's them. November 23rd, that's their idea of being funny. November 23rd. November 23rd, 5:18 p.m., 2023. Okay, David, this is going to be an introduction for a video I did. What they do is they affect me with technology viewpoints and anger in the videos. Why they're doing this is they're trying to pose me as an imminent threat. This is a, this goes back to 2012. It's an anger technology computer program, and Horvat began selling it as I think she is selling it as I've got a split personality. This is what they've been using the entire time, and this is what they've been selling. It's what the FBI thought was my profile back at the beginning of gang stalking. And this is actually what I've brought up throughout videos for years on end, actually. The FBI mistakenly thought I had a split personality before they put me in the gang stalking, and they totally screwed up. And this is what the FBI is selling behind the scenes and using on me. This is very important to understand. So in other words, because I don't fit the profile, they're making me fit with technology. Now, I figure the police department knows the truth of this. They don't care. They know that I may be going to court. Now, they've given me cancer, I believe, because the FBI saw I'm going to be approaching the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C. I've planned on doing this since July, and I believe that's why they've given me the cancer. And I've got my money bet on it being cancer, by the way, because I haven't had the biopsy yet. The appointment keeps getting pushed back. And because of these agents in no small part. That's how it's already been pushed back. So what's happening is they're affecting me heavily with technology, anger, and viewpoints in the videos. And don't get me wrong, I'm pissed as shit with the FBI. But that's between me and the FBI. It's not about... They're trying to pose it as like I'm on a revenge campaign here if I get my name out. That's not how shit is. And trying to pose me as a threat to everybody now. Like I'm going to go off on everybody around me. That's also not how that works. You know, as a point, I'm getting to be normal here in the video. My anger for the FBI, that's a totally different ballgame. But that's a whole different story. But the point is, so what they're doing is they're affecting me heavily, and then they're getting me to post the videos this way. In fact, sometimes I try and edit the videos. I'll get them edited. They'll still affect me, and then affect me to get me to post the video. In other words, I'm not getting all of the technology effects out. I mean, this is standard operational procedure. This is what I was pointing out in Phoenix. But I believe the FBI has told the truth about this to the police department. Police department doesn't care. They are only worried about their own legality, their own pedophile cop here, and the racist at 911, and my being framed. They are quite literally about the fact that one of their, a dirty, you know, my ex here, Dawn, she was a dirty cop. That's actually how I figured out on the phone with her in 2012. She had gone along with lying for the FBI. It just all clicked into place as I was speaking to her. I realized she had never changed. And then because of the passage of years there, it was real easy for me, for everything, you know, I could just see everything. And it just all clicked into place during that phone conversation. So they're also worried about the fact that I can prove that a cop took a payoff for labeling me a rapist and for saving the police department in the first place. You get it? So all they're doing is they're affecting me in video, affecting me to get me to post videos, because you can't recognize the effects. It's just like my first book. Do you realize it was like you know, many months later, like a year later, I realized my first book was affected. It's because every time I would go to look at the book, they'd just put the technology viewpoints and feelings back on me, so that I thought my first book was good and normal. And of course, it's a huge technology mess. So the point is, what they do is they just put this back on me and get me to post the videos. Then I get to be normal. I take the videos down. They're selling this as I'm doing it in anger and then taking the videos down because I'm worried or something. It's not like that at all. So this is an introduction for the video, and which I have to edit yet again. It's a good video, and the reality is they've given me the cancer. I believe they're going to murder me with it, and they've given it to me because they're still trying to force me and coerce me into being a witness. They can go fuck themselves. They're not telling people such as yourself or my sister, my mother or father, anybody, the amount and level of torture I'm going through with this technology. In other words, they're selling to everybody, well, he's angry and this and that, and we've got to do it with, they're lying. It's just like out in Phoenix. I'm just being tortured nonstop. I'm being bombarded nonstop every single hour. And they were doing this for a few days, but the reality is, as I look at this, no, actually, this is going on all of the time. But there were 4 or 5 days in particular where it was like every single minute for 4 days in a row. And here it's still going on a lot inside of every hour and every single day. You get it? But there's a difference. When they do it for 4 days straight, they attach all this shit to your consciousness. It's like you're forced into listening to it. It's like they force your focus into being put on what they're communicating. It's totally different. There's no ignoring it. It's not like a radio on in the background, no nothing. And then what they're doing is affecting my viewpoints and emotional states when they do this. In other words, they communicate something and then they push in a technology viewpoint and emotional state. So what they're doing is getting me to post these videos. The police department and the FBI here are downloading them, and then they're going to try and have a collection of all these videos, which proves I'm an imminent threat to the public. And there's no truth to that at all. If the FBI is murdering me here, the FBI will get their just rewards here down the road. So the point is, in a month's time, I'm going to be contacting the Russian embassy in D.C., and within a month, I plan on being up there. I want to try and get citizenship, and I can get them on the inside of this cover-up. That's why they're going to kill me. That's my best bet. They have it set up so that they can. But that's the one thing where I see cause and effect very clearly. They've known for the last 2 or 3 months now, since late July, that one of the things I've been looking at, since July, I plan on approaching the Russian embassy and seeing if I can get citizenship. As these agents know, I'll say to them, look, if I can't get you on the inside of the cover-up, then just kill me. Because the reality is I can. So I've got nothing to worry about. So these agents will lie about that. That said, the video is good. I've got to remove certain parts, technology effects, same thing as always, going all the way back to when I was with my family in Germany, got to edit parts out. And, it was much more difficult, actually. I had to add everything in the description, but if I would get affected at the beginning of a video or at the end, I use the video editor at YouTube. Really, I cannot edit a lot, but you see it all throughout the videos I did back when I was with Horvat. I'm being affected nonstop. And the difference here is that the FBI is misusing technology anger a lot. And I can tell that they're selling this to people as being real in mine. I see it. I see it, and they're not doing stalking. I see that they actually believe this. I notice a difference in how they are, and I notice they've been told a certain thing. When this is the case, there is there is no speaking to people that are that stupid. So, you know, it is what it is, but the key thing is nobody understands what's going on. And the reality is I'm just being affected and tortured nonstop. It's not. It's every single hour, and very much an hour. Right before the end test, they're doing it they've held me in, by the way. That's one more they're lying about. They're holding me in stalking by misusing technology and lying about it. Then they're trying to sell to me, well, actually, we'll give you a fair chance to go free here. It's a lie. And of course, I am extremely unhappy with the FBI. They've given me cancer. I've done a video about it, and I will post it and send you a link for it. For all I know, I may have to edit it again. Most of these videos I've edited 3 times already, and I've got to re-edit all of them again. So, what am I supposed to say? It's mind rape. So, it's a split personality computer program that Horvat set up in 2012. That's exactly what it is. It is quite literally for affecting me, for getting away with lying about my psychology. You get it? So, and in regards to German agencies, they know I'm being affected, and they know I'm being held in stalking by this technology being misused, which tells me they've gone along with my being murdered. They have not I just did videos for Jurgen, and it's blatantly obvious they've had my psychology wrong the entire time. But when I do the math here, then why are they going along with technology being misused and my being held in? You get it? So there is something entirely wrong with that picture, and I think the FBI is lying about my anger, what I'm angry about, and what it is about. So all the way around, they're lying. As a point, the German agencies think I'm delusional, and that's what the FBI is selling. So this is the way the FBI has been doing its business. Well, it's all delusional. And, you say you can give the Russians the inside of a cover-up. Well, we're going to act like that's real and true, and we're going to kill you. In other words, they are responding to things which they themselves believe is delusional. Jurgen doesn't believe a word of it. From his point of view, it's delusional. There's no cover-up. Horvat didn't do unauthorized murder. She never held me in stalking, even though I qualified for going free. What a bunch of idiots. This is where they screwed up. That's the point. My psychology was lied about. So then Jurgen goes, well, that's delusional. And then the FBI goes, well, we're going to murder him. We're going to act like we're going to murder him, at least, because he thinks it's real. Well, it is real, and the FBI knows it. But the point is, from Jurgen's viewpoint here, they are responding to things which they believe which Jurgen and his agency believes is delusional. So it's stupid. This would be like, from Jurgen's viewpoint, it's all invented, yet they're responding to it. Hello? And what they're selling it as, well, we take you as an agency threat because you think it's real and you are going to the Russians. So if it was real, in real life, we would kill you. So we're pretending like it's real. That's quite literally where German agents and agencies are at. And this is after I've explained my book here. You get it? Point is, they probably don't even believe my real viewpoints in regards to my book. My book is all about money and getting the message out, which they forced. They forced it all by being incorrect about my profile in the first place. That's not on me. That's on them. I've sent Jurgen all sorts of videos here. So if he can't wake up to where I'm at in regards to getting this book out and having my voice out there and making money from it, then there is no waking him up. It's like trying to wake my parents up to the fact that Dawn lied for the FBI. And that's going to change once I have money and get a lawyer. And he goes with me and my sister to the lawyer. That's going to change. 7:15 p.m. It's the 23rd, just a little bit later here. Okay, so few more points to cover here. Oh, and the FBI knows 100%, by the way. So Jurgen, if they lie, if they tell you anything different, they are lying heavily and extremely to your face. The one the FBI gets is that I am absolutely going to prove to my father what a piece of shit he is. That is why he is going with me to a lawyer. That is why my sister is going. It's going to be a reality check for my father. My sister's coming so that he can't hide from it all and try and forget about it. He will never get to live this lie ever again. You understand? And there's nothing stopping me from doing that. This is what I'm talking about. Everything I am doing, the FBI is trying to make it about them, agencies, the police department. They're lying through their fucking teeth. They are bold-faced lying to everybody. And everybody responding out of their fear to lies. Well, you're reacting emotionally first, and you're fucking up second. Furthermore, then you're getting an attitude problem with me. That I got a problem with. I will give the police department a goddamn reality check right here. You're balls-to-the-walls criminal here. They can affect me with technology till the cows come home. It's not changing reality here. As a point, David, they had a police officer parked right over where I was doing my book work. And when he got up to go get a coffee or whatever, I took a look at him. Guy's got good energy. First thing they note is, well, I still, because he was a good cop. You get it? This is how I view everybody. I don't look at police. That's a goddamn stereotype. You cannot figure out somebody based on a goddamn, just a big label. David, you get this. You view reality the same way I do. You understand this. It's like saying everybody who is Muslim is the same, all Christians are the same. Oh my God, just amongst all the Christians I've known, man, there's all sorts of different types. It's amazing. So the point is, I don't go all cops. You get it? Next point is, this shit is from 30 years ago. My beef is not with police. So the police department is going to have to understand there is something real and heavy and serious going on here with the FBI. The FBI is fucking me heavily. I got to stay in gang stalking because they found out about rogue agents and they're worried about relations with Germany. If you're from the police department, do you honestly believe they're going to let you in on that? As a point, CIA, FBI, all of them, a lot of their agents have a low opinion of cops. It's all of them. So if you think they're going to let you in on this shit, you can forget it. This is why they've got a problem with me going to the Russians. But the point is, they're not freeing me. They're misusing technology, and they are lying heavily and extremely. And furthermore, they are lying about my anger, where I'm coming from and what it is about. It doesn't involve goddamn the framings. It doesn't involve the cover-ups. It doesn't involve the police department. Man, you're like my parents here, except I put you actually on a higher grade here. I expect you all to be self-thinking and intelligent in regards to the FBI. Can you imagine me being deliberately held in gang stalking when I qualify for going free? And then I'm being tortured nonstop with this goddamn technology because the FBI is trying to coerce me, force me into being their witness. That's what this shit's about. Really wrap your head around that. I look at everything from a viewpoint of reality. Hello? They affect me in the videos, and that is that. I don't live in fear of it. That's just something done to me. What if somebody came up to you and punched you? You gonna live in fear of everybody? That's not how shit works, man. I put everything into perspective. What is mine is mine, and what is theirs is theirs. But the point is, I want to get back to this point here in regards to my father and the lawyer. That's got nothing to do with the police department. No, I'm going to prove to my father he is just a piece of shit. And the FBI knows that beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, Jurgen, if you're seeing this video, if they say anything other than that, they are lying. And I told you this back in Phoenix, where I'm at with my parents. Got nothing to do with agencies. It's not even a threat. That's the one the FBI gets. This is one of the reasons why they're giving me cancer. I'm looking at going to the Russian embassy in a month. I've got to make an appointment with them and explain to them, you know, my circumstances here are unusual and I can benefit their country. So the FBI is looking at that. They're looking at my next book here coming out, and that's all about my family and I being affected and attacked heavily with technology. Furthermore, you see reoccurring patterns over a period of 12 years. Any goddamn cop is going to see the truth of it. Not only that, even my sister, anybody's going to be able to look at that book and know it's the truth. Furthermore, it's based on calendar entries and journal entries. Hello? I don't lie one damn bit. I don't fabricate anything. No, nothing. I don't have to. That's the entire point. That is the entire point of the book. The message I am getting out. And furthermore, I've been forced into it because they've been holding me in stalking. Well, the FBI is not getting shit their way here. They're sour grapes. Furthermore, they're trying to play everybody and use everybody. Hello? So at the end of the day, you could take all these videos until the cows come home with the technology effects. You want to bring it into a courtroom? Knock yourself out. You're going to go down in flames on that one. So all the way around, I don't have to be worried. Reality is on my side. And I am fucking agency trained, whether you want to believe it or not. This is why the FBI is having so much trouble in the first place. Hello? Where's the violence? Horvat's been trying to portray me as violent since 2013. Hello? You got nothing. That's 10 years of great big nothing for everybody here. Furthermore, I got a video of the agent in charge from 2019 in my video. Hello? Take a look at my videos from Germany. Nothing but my being affected. All my videos are affected. Furthermore, I point out where I'm affected in videos. I can't fucking lose. You take a look at me in video and you go, well, that looks normal. Yeah, but that's not the point. When you're affected so heavily, you don't fucking forget it. Hello? How do you think that is? You're one way and then all of a sudden an emotional state is shoved in? When it's so far removed from you, you pick up on it. How does anybody think that works? If I were to shoot you with a gun or poke you with a sharp stick, you know that has occurred. Hello? It's not rocket science. You're being walloped with this technology. There is no being inventing it. That's the entire point. But they lie about all of this. Doesn't change my experience on my end. It's mind rape. And this is where they're getting away with lying about my anger. No, I am angry at the FBI because they're actually getting away with this. You know, the point is, the other thing they do, these are all technology tactics. The other thing they do is they hijack my emotional states. So if I do get angry about something, they have multiple ways of doing this. The most common one is they just make me instantly angry. It's not where I'm at. They do that, or they hijack it. In other words, I might be angry about something, but it just gets blasted through the roof. This is what I call emotional surges. They don't just do it with anger. And what it does is it exaggerates your character, your psychology, your profile, and it's very easy for them to do. This is done with a computer and AI. It's simple on their end. But you note it. That's the fucking point. And it's goddamn mind rape. Can you imagine, in my book and in the file I sent off, I write about what they did to me and my family. It was the same damn thing. They just took something and just blew it up into a huge big argument. And the reality was none of us normally would have gotten angry about a damn thing in regards to what we were talking about. You note this. That's the entire point. It's impossible not to. Furthermore, because the FBI is trying to do divide and conquer, they're trying to make me angry at everybody else. That's absurd. I bring up Carrie in this video, and actually, You know, I'm wondering if I should leave it in, because this is an example of technology. The whole point is, I don't have any dealings with Carrie anymore, David. She is balls to the wall stupid. I'm going to leave some of it in regards to her. But the point is, she doesn't exist in my life anymore. This is how I am. I don't remain angry. I just cut it. And I think the FBI is maybe going to try and lie to... Well, I don't know. I think German agencies know the truth about this. I'll have to think about it. They knew I was being affected with technology anger in Germany, so I'm sure they do. And they knew the truth in Phoenix, by the way. They were acting like they were... This is one of the things I realized in Phoenix. I realized, well, they've told the truth to Jurgen and Beata that they're affecting me with technology anger, but they're doing it for tricking the alternative media. They were making me angry at shit where it wasn't even possible for me to be angry about. That's the other point. Yeah, you pick up on it in 100 different ways. The main thing is you feel it when they do it. You notice it. It's like it's like licking a light socket. It's just bam with all of this energy. You can't help but note it. But based on the real life circumstances here, not the lies they're selling everybody and their false narrative, I'm angry as shit with the FBI. Of course I am. So then they try and make everything about them. The reality is, if they're out of my life, it's just like when I move here with my parents, proving to my father he's a piece of shit. Once I leave, I'm never having contact with either one of them again. Hello? That's one more reason why I got to get my book out and make book sales. You think I want to stay here with these two pieces of shit? Forget it. Where I'm at here with my father, I've actually, it's almost like I've got more respect for my mother at this point. And like she's a good person. Hello? So nobody, this is one they'll try and do. Oh, well, he's about revenge, Jurgen, whatever. You're so stupid, you'd probably believe that. No, you're sticking your nose into my goddamn family business, and you got no fucking business at all. That's where I'm at with the FBI, yourself, everybody. You got a major set of balls if you got a problem with it. For you to believe that, you are inventing a psychology I don't have. And quite frankly, I expect every fucking cop and every fucking agent to get where I'm coming from in regards to this. You think about this being you with your father, and you all get that one. You all get it. As soon as I said that, you all get exactly where I'm coming from. It doesn't have to do with a goddamn thing other than that. He is not getting away with living that lie and taking a piss on me. And because he is such a piece of shit in the first place. The lie he lives with himself. Nothing on God's green earth is stopping him from going in with to the lawyer and with my sister. Mind your own fucking business. When I leave, I will be leaving knowing that he understands he fucked up royally. You got that one? And that he is never seeing me again. Period. That is about him and his performance as a father. And I am dealing with everybody in terms of real life here. You know exactly where I'm coming from. Yet the FBI has been lying about my anger to everybody. Everybody gets where I'm coming from. If they've been saying anything else, they've been lying. They've known this going all the way back to Phoenix. So, take a look at how long they've known it. If they've said anything to the contrary, they are lying. I know how to do my shit. I've been noting these monkeys the entire time and they were clueless as to how well I saw them. They're still learning. That's not me being egotistical. That would be the FBI trying to hide that they're a bunch of fuck-ups. For David and Bill and anybody else looking at this video, this goes all the way back to Phoenix. They are trying to do damage control in regards to all of the fucking mistakes they made. You want to know the honest-to-God truth in regards to the FBI out in Phoenix? You want to know how they woke up to my real profile? They know I don't have a split personality. They fucked up in regards to profiling me. Do you know why and how? Because they just went on my mother. How fucking sloppy. It's like Freud believing in penis envy. That is some of the sloppiest profiling in the goddamn world. It's like all Christians are the same, or everybody that's Islam is the same, or it's amazing. It is sloppy profiling. I'll tell you how they found out. The team agents I dealt with out in Phoenix murdered my father-in-law. They went through Germany's version of the FBI, the BKA. They got authorization, and then they murdered him. And the whole time they were making me sick to my stomach, non-stop shit in my head here, every single minute of the day. And this went on for weeks, by the way. Not even days at a time, but weeks. It was basically non-stop. And that's not a lie or exaggeration. So they're making me nauseous all the time as a way of giving a innuendo that they're murdering my father-in-law. They had communicated in December the year before that they were going to do it and made a heavy threat. The way they do it is they communicate the death threat, but then they do something with the technology heavy and extreme to indicate that they're serious about the threat. It's like an intensity level for the threats they make to communicate how imminent it is. And sure enough, then months and months later, they find out he's got cancer. He starts having problems. They find out he's got cancer. And then he's murdered in front of my face. And then finally, the FBI began to wake up. They murdered him August 23rd. And they began to realize, well, there's something wrong here. Your reaction to us murdering your father-in-law does not fit the psychological template, the psychological gestalt, which was passed on to us by the CIA. Imagine that one. So, look, bottom line here, if you're a cop, make sure you know what you are getting involved in here. Make absolutely sure you fucking know before you go passing judgment on me. Quite literally, anybody who is just being heavy and extreme on the FBI's behalf, that tells me they have already been lied to heavily and extremely. And it also tells me they're very non-questioning, stupid, and non-thinking. The FBI is balls to the walls guilty here. So the point is, they murdered my father-in-law, and my reaction and everything did not fit the psychological template they had been passed on by the CIA. CIA posed me as a threat to agencies. Actually, in the videos I've done here for Jurgen, that's about my real psychology. I got a video up from Phoenix. That's about my real psychology. But the psychological gestalt is not what they're passing on to everybody. They're literally lying about it. So I expect that Jurgen understands all sorts of things here based on the videos I've done for him in the last few months. That's the point. I've got this technology on me. I cannot be faking my profile. That's the entire point. But it's like the situation here with my father and the lawyer. You could pose it as a threat. You got nothing. This is how you've done your profiling the whole way. This is how you made all your mistakes, Jurgen. You're making it about you in agencies. You're not understanding my actual psychology. It's got nothing to do with you fuck-ups. It does only in the sense that you framed me 30 years ago. Big fucking deal. That is not the point and issue. So you are off by a million miles in regards to me, and because you can't measure reality and the circumstances, you cannot assess things and analyze things correctly. Yet strangely enough, where I'm coming from, my psychology is not a threat to anybody, idiot. But this is how you've done it the entire way. You've done sloppy psychology. I am not a flake like you. I'm not a crackhead like one of these FBI agents. That's what I've been saying the entire time. That is what I'm speaking of. They bring all of their biases to the psychology department here. Their psychology is off based on how they actually are in the first place. How the fuck do you think I can smell people based on the circumstances here. I literally profile the fucking profiler. How do you think that fucking works? I'm measuring them on their mistakes, and I'm nailing them and busting them, which gets back to Phoenix here. So, all along the way, the FBI fucked up, and I couldn't help, strangely enough, but no, they were trying to bury and hide all of their mistakes from everybody, the police included. Imagine fucking that one. So are we clear? As a matter of fact, the FBI, this is a different point here, but the FBI saw I've got 16 copies of my second book, A Logical Guide. And I was like, well, the first people I will give these to is the police department. They're looking at me going to the police department and handing out copies and just telling the people there right at the department, yeah, these are my circumstances. This is a copy of my book. Hello? So where do you think I'm at here? And the next point is, if the FBI is actually doing this and getting away with it, you can't say, well, it's not real and true. You got to consider that this is real and true. Next point is, whether you get it or not, it is. So then ask yourself, how angry would you be with the FBI? That's the FBI's problem, which they've created by trying to force me into being a witness, whether you want to believe it or not. And they're just doing everything under the sun and getting away with it. So it is their own self-invented problem. Furthermore, it's being done deliberately by them. You understand? This is me explaining the reality of the circumstances to everybody here. Now, as a point, when I saw this cop there at the coffee shop, I made a mental note, okay, well, you know, it's supposed to be, they're letting me know they're there, you know? But the reality is, I've always, from the beginning, I'm not stupid. I'm like, well, the police department will be watching my channels here and the FBI. I've sold some books to their people. And, I'm not stupid here. How dumb do you think I am at this shit? I've got nothing to hide. That's the entire point. You understand? Hey, man, take a look at what you all have taken part in and done to my life here. Now, I'm telling you, yes, I'm in the middle of one more fucking cover-up. That is exactly what I am telling you. Man, you got no idea how much my life sucks. How many is that? That's fucking 3. It's insane. But it's the truth. And look, man, 30 years, more than 30 years dealing with agents and agencies here. More than 30. You think I got worse, or do you think I got better? End of story on that one. Did you all get better as cops or worse as cops in time? I'm not talking about corrupt ones where they actually get worse. But in terms of your skills, your training, your ability, you pick up on the vibes of people. You learn to be accurate at that. Really, you're training yourself to pick up on, the energy of people. So getting back to this police officer, when he got out of his car to go into the coffee shop, I checked him out. And he had good energy. Hello? Just the same way you look at, you'll see somebody and you'll know they're a perp. Are we all in agreement on that? It's the same thing here. And they communicated to me he's a redneck, and that's not at all what I thought. And I doubt they were serious about it, because the guy's got such good energy. Even the FBI, I think, would take a piss on him. You get it? But in general, they do have a low opinion of police. And they communicated that to me when he came out. And, maybe they're checking to see what I really think. And I was like, well, I already checked the guy's energy. The guy's got good energy. Hello? The one that I get and the FBI gets here, which apparently nobody from the police department does, but the one that they get and I get is, a lot of the police would not be on board with the FBI here if you knew what is really going on. There is nothing they can do to get these rogue agents, no nothing. Everything about the circumstances is a lie. They're going to what? Just hold me in, keep asking for more information. At the end of the day, they can't even get these agents. They cannot get them out of Germany without being obvious for Germany's version of the FBI, the BKA. So, And furthermore, on top of it, it's very dangerous to do. So they literally have no way of getting them out. And it's both of those points, by the way. Horvat, they would all smell a rat from the very beginning if somebody were to even try and move them somewhere else. So they can't do anything. They just invent this lie, well, somehow I will have the magical bullet for them. And of course, it's a lie. And to top it all off, really, at the end of the day, the FBI knows this. It's like, oh, well, we just read it in a book, in a manual, in these circumstances, we just hold them in and that's it. And we collect more information. Well, they're fuck-ups. They're incompetent at what they do here. So I'm not helping them. And they're not, you know, they're always going to be screwed up here. So they're getting nothing. But what they are doing is holding me in so that Papa Ray here can look good. That's what we're supposed to do under the circumstances. Actually, you got no guidelines for circumstances like this in the first place. It's a lie all the way around. So they're living this lie like they're going to get them caught. No, they aren't. End of story. So I am going free, whether the FBI likes it or not. And the point is, my book is coming out. Anybody with half a brain can recognize that for the truth it is. And it's all about my family and me being affected heavily and mind raped heavily with this technology. Hello? Furthermore, it's also about the threat in regards to this technology. Man, agencies are so far removed from reality, out of touch with it. They're desensitized beyond belief. You have no idea how dangerous all this is in the first place. And then last but not least, but if you're a Christian as a point, I'm not even, you know, look, as a point here, I'm not even a Christian. Yet I believe in the book of Revelation, and I believe in the Antichrist. Key point is this technology is going to be used for duping the world. So that's one more part and key important part for me in regards to my book and the information coming out. This book coming out. Even the true believers will be deceived. How do you think that works? This technology, they can do all sorts of crazy stuff you can't believe with it. It literally looks like God is doing it. Yet it's technology. So he's going to do fake miracles to trick everybody he's the new Messiah. You don't want to believe it? You don't have to. But if you read my third book, Day Thief, I make an extremely compelling argument for it. Hello? And in regards to this book, I expect Jurgen, you're an agent, I expect you to get where I'm coming from here. It's just like the situation with my father. That's the entire point. You all do not know how to analyze things in real time here. You don't get my psychology at all. I expect you to understand that this book is based on the circumstances to begin with. I need money for getting out of the country and living in another country. That means I have to have steady book sales coming in. I have to be able to make, you know, for at least one country here, $1,000 a month. I have to have at least $1,000 a month of income. Hello? I see things going right down the toilet in this country, and it's going to center around the elections. I'm getting out. I am not stupid. I've written all sorts of stuff that I see coming true now. How does anybody think that works? If you're good at being a cop or a detective, then you understand this shit. You understand that you're good at your job, and you understand that you're good at putting the pieces together. This is what I do as a researcher. Being good at this type of nonfiction. Being good at this means you have to be accurate, and it has to come true. And, you know, I've written all sorts of things here which you see coming true. There's a reason for all of that. And it's the same thing here with the message I am getting out. The way that I got there is because the FBI has been holding me in, but screw them and their delusional Disneyland here of my staying in the country. I'm leaving the country whether they like it or not. So all they're doing is getting more heavy and extreme because they can't get what they want. They're not intelligent. They just misuse power heavily. And there's a world of difference between that and being intelligent. Y'all hear that one from the police department? And I'm not directing that at you. I'm saying, do you understand? I'm telling you, these agents are stupid. Look at how they're handling this shit. So for you, Jurgen, the entire point is, this book is not a threat to agencies. You know, I say it in this video. This is supposed to be an introduction. Really, it's a separate video at this point, I think. But the point is, I bring up, well, they've got a problem with my book. And I'm sure these agents were affecting me because I made a mental note like I always do. And that was the point. As they found out, I don't actually believe that. But the point is, this book is not a threat to agencies. You know, I was looking at the CIA agent who speaks about all sorts of CIA shit in interviews on YouTube. Andrew Buscemani or whatever his name is. And the reality is, what I write about is about a totally different world. It does involve agents and agencies, but it's not a threat. And the whole point from my end of things, it's about money and my circumstances now, as I've told you. It's exactly the same as my proving to my father he's a piece of shit. It's got nothing to do with you all. You understand? And this is why I got so angry. Well, they're trying to Patsy and Horvat are trying to make it about themselves. And by the way, Jurgen, shit doesn't change. But first I'm going to try the Russian embassy. I would love to be a Russian citizen. At least it's a country that I've got more respect for. And the point is, interviews in regards to this book will only be done for a period of time, Jurgen. I don't want to be living in this energy and talking about stalking and technology. You get it? Why you got to be fucking... If you actually think that's where my psychology is at, give yourself a mental marker. Because you're fucking up like crazy on that one. That tells me you're not even thinking about what my psychology is. And this is how everybody's been the entire time and way here. You understand? The last thing in the world I want to be doing is living and breathing this shit. That's the point. I'm actually done with the stalking. So now that I've stated this yet again in video for you, I expect you to understand it. It's the only reason why I thought, well, maybe they're not serious about the cancer. Yet why are they misusing technology and holding me in? How are they getting away with that with you, Jurgen? The only thing I can think of is they're actually lying about my anger and what it is I'm angry about. You know, as a point, they're not holding me in as a way of tricking me into believing they're holding me in. Hello? It's like Horvat doing unauthorized murder to convince me she's rogue. Hello? But getting back to the point, in regards to the FBI, they actually do not want this book coming out. Perfect world, that's exactly what they want. And they don't want it because it actually exposes what this is all about in the first place. Yet they're claiming it's delusional. Hello? So it's delusional. They're saying it's delusional. I get everybody gets it's delusional. So I think seeing as how I get everybody else's viewpoint here, I think we can safely assess that I'm not a threat to agencies here. The next point is because I get everybody's cheap viewpoint here. I could care less. And this game of, well, it's about my book or it's about this or that, this is the point, Jurgen. The circumstances are actually done. The stalking is actually done. There is no making a game of shit here. It's a lot simpler than that. You know, as a point, it's like you, Jurgen, saying, well, the FBI is making a point here with you. Well, he's going to the Russian embassy and trying to get Russian citizenship and offering to get them on the inside of a cover-up by the CIA and FBI, and it's all about rogue agents. Well, that's all delusional, but if it was real, this would make him a threat to us. Hello? And you're going, well, it's delusional, but if it were real, that would make him a threat. Hello? The reality is, you're not putting, this is what y'all suck at. You don't put a goddamn thing into context. The first point is, it is real and true, and you're telling everybody your agency knows the truth. Hello? I would like to see a police officer from this town with a brain quiz you about how your agency knows. If you're a police officer, ask them for copies of emails I sent to the BFV. Those things are an enormous technology mess. They were expecting to get the truth of a damn thing when that's how heavily I was affected? Oh my God. They have no way of knowing, and they actually don't. But the point is, my going to the Russian embassy is based on the circumstances they are creating, not me. And the point is, it's based on if I'm still in stalking at that point in time. It's real simple. I'm going to deal with real life, Jurgen. Yes, that is true. You're the one who has a problem with reality here. Strangely enough, it has nothing to do with if I'm free and where I'm going with my life here. Imagine that one. It has to do with circumstances. It is circumstantial. Whoops. You understand? I was telling them I'll go to Ted Cruz. They shut up. That guy's got a brain. This is what I'm talking about. Anybody asking them hardcore questions, the FBI is extremely uncomfortable with that. Actually, Jurgen, the correct way of looking at it is you killing somebody who you know over something you know isn't true. That's exactly what that's about. That makes you all out of touch with reality. You're going to, well, it's not real or true, but we're going to kill them anyhow. Because, like, this imaginary situation in your head, that's what I'm talking about. You're reacting to cartoons. Kill SpongeBob. SpongeBob is dangerous. Hello? How do you think I look at all of you? I'm laughing at you because it's so absurd in the first place. Anybody with a few brain cells sees the truth of it. You've screwed up the entire time in regards to my psychology, and now based on the circumstances, I actually have to do this book. You've not profiled me correctly at all. None of you have. That is the entire point. And when you've screwed up and held me in stalking 21 years extra, by the way, for the police department, if you don't know it, it's true. I've been held in gang stalking, 21 years extra. And actually, this book is all about that. And you see what was done to me and my family. You get it? And, hang on. So, Jurgen, when that is the case, do you think I expect agencies to look the other way and to not have a problem with it after 21 years of gang stalking? And I've got to get the money and have $1,000 a month coming in, at least, for moving to another country and within the next 6 months? You think? Hello? I got to hurry here, man. When you get... I've been held in 21 fucking years extra, and based on the circumstances, yeah, I expect you to look the other way, strangely enough. And the whole time you've been going, wow, that's crazy, you're delusional. Hello? Why don't you grow up? Your agency doesn't know because you never performed. Hello? That's just about your cheap beliefs of the world around you. You didn't even verify your shit here. You made a dumb assumption from the beginning. You go, oh, well, the file you sent us, we knew all about all that heavy technology shit. Hello? That does not prove Horvat did not hold me in stalking. That's the entire point. My psychology's been lied about, you jackass. That is not how you determine truth. How the hell? This is the point. You don't look at context and think about it from my side and Monica's side. How the hell were Monica and I supposed to think? She was telling the truth about it, and that you were going along with it. You had no reason for going along with it, and both Monica and I knew it. That's the point. How did Monica get labeled? Delusional. Do you know why? Because she's a witness to my real psychology and my real psychological template. Jesus, you people are fucking amateurs. And you go, oh, that's just you being egotistical. We're agents. No, that is you slapping around labels to prove to yourself you're correct, which is how you've done your shit here the entire way. That's like labeling somebody a Muslim, a Christian, or a cop. That's not how real shit works here. That is not how you measure and assess reality. So then you're playing this game, well, if it were real, hello? You're reacting to a cartoon in your head. Y'all, from your point of view, you already believe that it's not real and true. Hello? If it's not real and true, and I'm going to the Russians to get citizenship, and I'll help them in regards to the cover-up here, if I'm still in the gang stalking, I most certainly will. Like I've got a choice. Hello? Oh, they're fucking with me. Real heavy, too, by the way. You're going, well, from the FBI's point of view, if it were real and true, they would have a right to murder him. Hello? How out of touch with reality are you? You lost your fucking mind? This is the point. This is one of the points of the book. You all are so desensitized to what it is you do. You murder so much you don't even think about it anymore. That's one more point of the book. You're amazing, all of you. And that's what happened to Horvat and her officers. They reached this point, they realized, well, what is this shit about rules and following agency shit here? The whole thing's corrupt. It's balls to the walls filthy in the first place. They went rogue, you jackass. Point is, if I'm free, I'm never having problems with agents and agencies in the future, you idiot. I know how all of you are. The last thing in the world that's happening is that I'm getting into trouble. This goes all the way back to 2002. Horvat and her officers saw I was looking forward to having a writing career, my name out, success, money, and then me and my girls living out on a piece of land, way out on a piece of land in Germany and independent and off the grid. Hello? So that when shit kicked off with the world here, because I've always believed this going all the way back to when I was in junior high school. I've always believed in the Antichrist and all sorts of things here. Hello? But the point is, the whole thing was about success and living on a piece of land and living a happy, quiet life. Had nothing to do with agents and agencies. That's in 2002, when you and your agency fucked up. It's never changed. That's the point. This is my heart's desire. It's what I'm going to do. You keep trying to turn it into a threat to yourselves. This is how incompetent you all are. It is one more point of my book. You're taking something that from your point of view is imaginary and you're killing over it. Hello? And this is me, and I'm still almost laughing in the fucking video. For the police department, put a bolo out for SpongeBob. Give me a break. You've lost all touch with reality. It'd be like the police department. Oh yeah, be on alert for SpongeBob. Give me a break. SpongeBob is a threat to agencies. You know, this is the point. This is how far removed from reality you are in regards to my profile here again. And this is actually why I'm angry at you. You spent all this time with me and you never even knew me. It's disgusting. It is. It's absolutely disgusting. And the amount of fucking up by your agency and yourself for cheap stereotypes and sloppy job performance because you want to believe it. You're no different than my father wanting to believe I'm a rapist. But it's the mistake of an agent, and it is the mistake of entire agencies here. I approached 2 German agencies. 3, technically, because I sent the band a information packet in 2014. But that information packet was affected heavily. You keep going along with not finding out the information. Strangely enough, if I was not affected heavily, you could have found everything out. But I'm not interested in any of this anymore. I'm actually done with the stalking. I hate the idea of giving the Russians this, but if I'm still in stalking, I'm going to give them everything. Plus, they'll love me for it. If I'm forced into doing it, then I will do it. It's just like my doing the book here. You leave me no other option. It's that simple. That's on the FBI. If they're going to continue to hold me in and lie about it, then I've got no other choice. That's the way that shit works. If that's what it takes to have my freedom here, then that is what I will do. You've got my that's the entire point. You're so incorrect about my psychology. To say that you're inaccurate isn't good enough. You're balls to the walls a million miles away from where I actually am. You like kill SpongeBob. Hello? Misuse technology heavily for framing SpongeBob. Hello? You are reacting from something that isn't even real for you. Whole point is, if I'm free, I'm not going to be having jack shit to do with agents and agencies. I view you, all of you, each and every one of you, is stupid and dangerous. I'm having nothing to do with any of you. Maybe a few honeypots here, but that's based on their real character. And, most importantly of all, based on my being free. You accuse me of being stupid for your viewpoint. You think I've been in this shit for 30 fucking years, you jackass, and I'm gonna do something to jeopardize myself in regards to agents and agencies? You're balls, you're stupid like my father. That is the point. This is why I keep comparing you all to my father. You got it? Are you finally clear with my psychology here, Jurgen? There is no excuse for this going on anymore. You get it? We're giving them cancer and torturing them heavily to convince them there's a cover-up going on. Hello? Why are you holding me in? It's because you don't actually get what I'm angry about. I'm done with the stalking, and all of this is invented on your side. It's real simple from my end of shit. You turn it into this wonderful Disneyland of fake psychology. This means this, that means that. You're balls to the walls incompetent. Actually, my psychology is simple. November 24th, 9:08 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with the video here. I'm just waking up, having my first cup of coffee. I want to give you an idea of what this is like. So I wake up, and I'm dealing with these idiots hit me up with, well, you're angry at us, and it's permanent. Yeah, I can't stand the fucking FBI. I'm going to pause a moment, but I'm thinking, how difficult is this for the police department to understand? You know, as a point, it's the police department here that fucked me in no small part. And I don't have a problem with the police department. I look at things from reality. What's the reality of it? Different police chief. It's a different police chief. It's, you know, I have yet to see a police officer that used to be here when I was here 30 years ago. You guys used to have Officer Oakley, who I had a lot of respect for. I actually liked him. All the townies did. Officer Holloway, there's another good one, who I also liked. So there's never been an issue for me with the police department. This is 30 years ago. You understand? It's the same thing here with the FBI. Once they are out of my life, I don't have a problem with them. But what I do have a problem with is that they're misusing technology heavily, lying about it, and holding me in. Furthermore, they are inventing shit for doing it. They want to claim they've made mistakes, they can knock themselves out. I don't actually care. I'm not interested in trying to catch people. But what I am interested in is having my freedom. Next point. If you understand what is coming in this country here, it's judgment. All the negative and evil action this country has put out is coming back its way now. It's judgment. This is the law of cause and effect. It's written in Book of Goddamn Revelation. It's not only there. That's the entire point. It's in prophecies from around the world from all sorts of different time periods. So what we're about to have is finally all the negative energy that's been put out is going to boomerang and come back to this country. We're out of line with God, morality, God's laws. And that's a statement of fact. I know this. The FBI learns from me in regards to all of this. That is a statement of fact. This is my profile. You can look at my third book, Day Thief. I wrote a chapter about enlightenment and what it's like. So the point is, if they're holding me in, then I'm thinking I'll go to the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C. I want citizenship in another country anyhow, plus I have respect for Russia and Putin here. Yeah, people can say what he wants. He was a goddamn agent. He still is. He always will be. Criticizing him, I mean, these agents I deal with here, he doesn't begin to amount to toenail off of these people in regards to shitty people here. They've done a good job with their country. He follows, you know, as I pointed out to the FBI in Phoenix, he actually follows God's laws in regards to how they conduct their country. So this is why things will work out for him. So if they're holding me in while lying about me and affecting me heavily for holding me in, by the way, naturally, well, I'll go to the Russians. If they're going to keep me in gang stalking, I will apply for citizenship. If they give me citizenship and I'm still in gang stalking, then they will get to the... I will give them everything in regards to this cover-up. Hello? I've been forced into doing this in the first place. That will put me in all sorts of a good place in regards to my new citizenship in Russia. Hello? First few months after the FBI woke up, they offered me $500,000. $500,000 fucking dollars. That's the truth of it, whether you want to believe it or not. Directly communicated to me by the agents in Phoenix. Hang on. It's the most the agency has offered. You think that's my wording? That is theirs. And they meant in a single pop. But you got to stay in the country, and it's unlimited. In other words, I'm just a dog on a leash for the rest of my life. Oh, you fucking dream. That's the point. I'm done with all of this shit. I said, no, I'll do it for 1 year with strict terms. Furthermore, I will be, you're going to agree to my putting up the money for Robert Barnes. He's going to look at the contract, and that will be that. It will be for 1 year and absolutely 1 year. They rejected it. So, if I wake up the Russians, how good a world do you think it's going to be for me? Furthermore, I will have been forced into it, and they will still have been holding me and stalking the FBI. Hello? Whole thing's about my freedom. So, at that point, I can analyze myself, my psychology, because I know myself. So, I'll be forced into going to Russia, which isn't the first country of choice. I want to live south of the equator. I'll still be in gang stalking, still dealing with all of this shit. Oh, yeah, you think I'm not just going to stick it to the FBI when those are the circumstances they've created for me? That has nothing to do with me and my choices and where I would be going here if they weren't fucking it up to begin with. So, of course, I'm just going to give them everything. That's going to put me in all sorts of good places with the Russian government. Plus, I'll be a citizen. Are you kidding? So then, let's take a look at Jurgen, the agent here. And this, they'll say, well, he's trying to shame Jurgen. No, that's one more lie about my psychology. This is about analyzing reality and pointing out the truth to people. So then we have Jurgen, a German agent here, and he thinks it's all make-believe. None of it is real or true. And so he's like, but if it was real and true, then they'd have a right to kill you, national security, and blah, blah, blah. So from his end of the fence, well, yeah, they can go ahead and kill him because of something that's imaginary. This is what I'm talking about. It's actually one of the points of my new book. We are balls to the walls out of touch with reality. And this is something I looked at back when I was with Horvat and our officers more than a decade ago, a decade and a half ago. This program here has gotten people so filthy with murder and torture and stealing. It's everything evil under the sun. What's happened is everybody has lost, they've lost their humanity, and now they just do this shit without thinking. Furthermore, it's gone to new delusional levels here. Nobody's salary capped their insane psychology here. Hello? Then you label me delusional? The reality is you all are. From agencies. You're smoking your own bullshit. The point is, this whole thing's been about a team of agents lying and misusing technology. And misusing technology for doing so. So, I approached agencies. What's the only way they could know was by wiretapping me and my family and then interviewing us. It is the only way they could know they're getting the truth. That is what I expected. I expected them to perform competently and intelligently. So if you ask a German agent, how do they know? The answer is they don't. Because otherwise, I might get hijacked and lied about. They never find out the truth. That's exactly what happened. And it's happened multiple times here. They go along to my being affected heavily, and they don't realize as a result they don't get the information. I had to go get a hot coffee. I don't know where I was. I'll check in a moment. I want to get back to a point here. I follow God's law. It's absolute. Everything has to be measured correctly, and the response I give has to be appropriate. So if they force me into going to Russia, key point here, they are forcing me into going to another country. They are holding me and stalking. This is all based on their choices. What's the reality here? If I'm speaking the truth and they are lying to everybody and holding me in, that is force. What they're trying to do is get away with misusing technology and dumping a false psychology on me. So the reality is I will be forced into going to Russia, plus I'll be pissed off. Of course I will. You didn't have enough sense, hello? To say common sense, that's not even good enough at this point. When I qualify and you've got nothing positive to accomplish by holding me in, especially at this point, you've got what you got, and that's it in regards to the cover-up and stuff. But the point is, if you've not got enough common sense to end it, and this is what you do, then quite clearly I have a right to be angry. It's just like now with them holding me in. I have a right to be angry. So then I will give everything to the Russians, and my anger will just propel me and motivate me into getting it done. Because the reality is, I don't want to be in this. And it's being done regardless of where I'm at here. It has to do with their choices based on their motives. Their motives, quite literally, are based on an actual cover-up going on. But the point is, it's based on God's law. That is based on their choices. So getting back to waking up this morning, they're approaching me like this is all on me. And I was like, this whole conversation you're trying to have with me is a damn lie. It's a lie in regards to perspective. They know what the situation is here. They're coming at me like it's all on me. That is an enormous lie. I said, I'm not living this lie. This isn't, hello? This isn't a conversation where you act like you don't know what's going on. I follow God's law, and there's nothing wrong with it. They follow no laws. They're not even following the rules for gang stalking. I qualify for going free. I should have been released. Hello? Next point is, if you're from the police department, they haven't told you about my cats being killed. But you can look at the video I've got up, the burial tactic. That's all on the money. So take a look at the FBI's actions here. Ask yourself, would you work for the FBI after that shit? Oh no, they got a set of balls for still coming at me. It's not about the gang stalking. That is the lie. That is the false narrative. That is the cover story. Just like them misusing technology and trying to dump it on me. Point is, they're balls to the walls incompetent. So, of course, if I go to the Russians and I've got to spend more time in this and got to expose agencies and the cover-up all over again, of course I'm going to be pissed, but I'm going to make it work for me. Furthermore, the end result will be my freedom, and I will be on extremely good terms with the Russian government. Finally, I got a fucking home. Got it? And furthermore, they created it themselves. This is how God's law works. It all works to my benefit. Period. So then what we try and do is turn it into SpongeBob and cartoon Disneyland for Jurgen. Well, if it was real and true, he would be a threat to our agency here and relations with Germany. Hello? Take a look at it. Jurgen is German. So yeah, that makes sense. They should kill him based on something that we all know isn't real and true. Hello? You get it? You starting to see agents and agencies here? Bunch of goddamn screwballs. They are balls to the walls out of touch with reality. First time Patsy communicated this to me back in 2019, well, we're going to take it as real and serious, I was laughing. I still laugh. You see it in video. It's absolutely absurd. That's a statement of how out of touch with reality you are. Now, since the FBI is lying about me heavily and extremely behind the scenes here, let's talk about the subject of murder. Let's see, many, 30 years ago, what have you, went into a courtroom, and those guys who tried slitting my throat, they got away. I got one guy in there, and I stated it as it was. I was going to have, if I had caught up with that guy with a knife, I was going to tell him, well, you got to give up, or, that's it. And he would have tried killing me with a knife. The reality is he already had just tried to. So he would have ended up dead. It's on his terms. That's by God's law. I don't care what any of you think. And I stated it in a courtroom. Did I or did I not? Of course I did. You hear fucking pin drop in the courtroom after I stated it. And that one fuck in the courtroom, the perp, was smirking like it was a joke. Because he was going on stereotypes in regards to me. So then let's fast forward here to, because he would have left me no choice. Cop, what would you have done? Would you have fought him hand to hand? No, you would have taken your gun out and you would have shot him. Hello? You're no different than me on the point. From my end of things, it would have been you're going to jail. In regards to this guy with a knife, you're going to jail. I wouldn't be letting him leave. He would be trying to kill me. You get it? Strangely enough, the FBI tries to turn it into, I'm the bad guy here. Hello? Who the hell are you kidding? They are trying to play everybody with cheap psychology. That is you being cheap. What's the honest truth here? Who is the bad guy between me and him here? Furthermore, what are the circumstances? So now let's get to Phoenix here, and they had a guy stick a gun in my face. So then they're threatening to, by the way, well, we're going to have him kill you. And you're out there by the canal, and we're going to have him shoot you, and blah, blah, blah. What do you think I am going to believe if strangely enough, in the enormous city, he happens to run into me again out on a canal? Hello? In my neck of the woods. Hello? I'm going to think he is going to kill me. No? How do you actually expect this as a police officer to fly on your end of things in a courtroom? And again, I will ask you, who is the bad guy in this situation here? What is the first thing you yourself would believe if he were to show up where you're at and the FBI are pulling his strings in the first place? He's going to kill you. No? Especially after threats have been made. No? So if you see him at all again, what's it mean? It means he's there for killing you. Period. Are we clear? So, this is why I've said over and over, I more than welcome the FBI in regards to taking me to a courtroom here. Anybody. You got a set of balls. You've lost touch with reality. Turn me into the bad guy in regards to your own illegal activity. Furthermore, murder here. Hello? While he's reaching for the gun, I'm supposed to speed dial the police. Hello? Next point is you're supposedly the legal system in the first place. Everything about you here is illegal. Furthermore, the FBI trying to slander me in regards to self-defense here is also illegal. They are lying, and they have a federal badge. Let's be real clear about that. They're lying about where I am at, where I'm coming from. Do you realize I almost had to take that guy with the gun out because I was worried about women and children? Hello? What's your own character here? I'm the bad guy? Oh, you fucking dream. I almost put my ass on the line. I could have been killed for women and children. So don't call me the turd and criminal here. Yeah, I'm angry about it. Oh, you think I won't speak about this in a courtroom? Everybody's going to know I'm speaking the goddamn truth, and everybody's going to know the truth of my goddamn character. That's in a courtroom. You think I gotta worry? Shit. People better start really thinking about shit here. So let's be real clear here. I die for women and children. You all, you fucking kill them. Are we clear? So never point your finger again in regards to all of this shit, and don't let yourself get jerked around by the FBI. They're lying about my psychology. And that shit's not gonna fly in a courtroom. Quote me. And the point is, this is what I woke up to this morning. Them trying to point a finger at me while lying about my psychology. It's the only way they get away with it. In other words, for you to believe what they're hitting me up with this morning, you have to already be believing lies about my psychology in the first place. The reality is there's not one single police officer, and I've known quite a few of you. I went to high school with some. The reality is not a single one of you, not a one of you, would respond any differently. You think that's going to fly in a courtroom? The next point is, I am the only goddamn truth inside of all of this. I am my goddamn profile. This is why it was so incredible for me that people from the alternative media didn't understand I spoke the truth in video. It's everything I'll speak about in a courtroom anyhow. That said, I have no interest in taking this into a courtroom. I never did, and Horvat and our officers knew that. I get all the evil of this country and all the corruption. Every group of agents knows this. Each country has a flavor. You can sum up a country with, a couple of words. Like Germany, it's intelligent, except it's agencies, but they do things intelligently. America, the word I always use with agencies here, it can be summed up in one word: corruption. And that's not a bias because of my life. No, I see how much of it is going on all over the place here, and because of my life. There's a difference. I am all the way down at the bottom of that rabbit hole. So I see what's coming here. And if and when it kicks off, it'll be next year, and it's going to start with the elections, or right before. Maybe a couple of months before. So I have no interest. Anyhow, if you got common sense here, I have no interest in taking this shit to court. If, the whole focus in that regard has been the FBI. But I have no interest in it. It's absurd. I want to take the government to court and the FBI to court when this could be over. But the point is, regardless, I'm getting out of the country here, and soon. So what I want to do is get a lawyer to prove to my father he's just a piece of shit, and my sister there, so that he can't get away with trying to run away from it. After all of this shit, I want him knowing exactly the piece of shit he is. It's real simple. And again, it's got nothing to do with agents and agencies. I think anybody who were to think, well, if this was me, would it be any different? Ask yourself that one. Hello? So don't stick your nose in my goddamn personal business, and don't go passing judgment on it because you're all incapable of it in the first place. You're all out of touch with reality. I don't like my parents, and I'm never going to. I do not like the FBI, and I most certainly am never going to. I can't stand either one of them. And between the two of them, it's the FBI I can't stand the most. Hello? My parents are fuck-ups, but the FBI's hands are absolutely balls-to-the-walls filthy here. But the point is, once I'm out of here, they're no longer in my life, and they are no longer an issue. And I am getting citizenship in another country. They are trying to turn their own self-made mess into it's about me, so that they can quite literally go on doing it. Hello? Your ability to assess reality is all screwed up, in no small part because you think you can just do what you want, and because of power. You go, well, we can do this. So you stop thinking about things, and you stop looking at bare basics and reality here. This is what agents and agencies do all of the time. As a result of not actually thinking about things well enough, you screw up. And it's based in no small part on your fears, your desires, and, oh, well, we can just do this. And this is how they are in regards to psychology in one way also. They're balls-to-the-walls, incompetent, and sloppy. But the point is, you're all out of touch with reality because you don't actually analyze it correctly in the first place. Next point is, if I had the profile they were selling, as they know, I can easily predict that Mike here is still living at his parents' house right down on 54. They've known this the entire time. It's not since I've been back here, it's not the last time. I've always known he's there based on knowing him. Figure his parents had died and he got in the house. I'd bet all sorts of money he's there. So what was it, last week there was somebody out by the coffee shop on the sidewalk that looked like him. I couldn't, I'm driving, I couldn't really tell, but I would bet money it was. And just based on how the FBI is here. But the point is, if I were the profile they're lying about, I could have gone by there ages ago. Hello? Point is, you don't see me seeking conflict. Plus, it's from 30 fucking years ago. You get it? I'm not happy about it. I can live in peace, and I do. But by the same token, don't come looking for me and don't come seeking conflict. Because the reality is, I am angry at him and the FBI here and all sorts of people. But I don't go seeking the conflict. So don't come with a goddamn attitude problem when you're so in the wrong in the first place. Last time I checked, that's common sense. And as the FBI saw, I didn't give a shit about Mike getting out there. He has not been the issue. Hello? Quite literally, the FBI pointing over here and here. That's misdirection for everybody else. Hello? You think I don't know how they do their shit? Oh, it just looks that way? Anything else they say here behind the scenes is a lie. I've just spoken the direct truth of all of this. And there is no gang stalking in regards to it. Do you understand that one? How about common sense? That's one more these agents lie about. They try and make everything about gang stalking without looking at reality here. Hello? The guy is a piece of shit, and he is your fucking homie, not mine. But don't expect me to like the guy. And take a look at the company you keep and who you are defending here. Trying to make an issue of. Hello? It's no different than with my parents here. Once I am out of their life, it's permanent here. Once I leave, it's forever. So then let's say they try forcing themselves into my life here. You think I got a problem with that? You can't understand that one? I do not like you, and stay away from me. I don't want to be around you. So then let's put yourself in this situation. So you don't like this individual because they fucked you royally. And then they get an issue with it and make a point of it. And so they start coming at you, shoving themselves in your face. How the fuck are you going to be? You think that's about stalking? The hell it is. That right there is about common sense. And I'm not threatening anything. You can already see the FBI here. Well, we'll use them for end tests for stalking. The reality is, what they've always done here is they just misuse technology. Oh, I can pass. But it's not about stalking anymore. I'm done with it. In order for them to be selling an end test, they're still lying about my psychology. So what do you think they're going to do? Just hold me in. They'll misuse technology same way they've always done. You don't grow a second head when they misuse technology. It looks real. It isn't. You, the experiencer, for you, it's totally a different story. It's totally notable. This is where they get away with lying about misusing technology. Oh, end test? You think I can get myself held in for a piece of shit like Mike? Oh, forget it. So I'll go free. But that's not where I'm at anymore either. There is no more stalking. And furthermore, the FBI actually gets my psychology and knows I should have been freed here. I am not playing this game of stalking anymore. That's the point. I'm trying to live my life and they're interfering with it. They're trying to take real life and turn it into a lie in their Disneyland. Oh, and by the way, they just promise they will affect me if they do this. And knowing them, of course, they will lie about this. They've got no choice. So this is where they always dump it on me. So, and this is why you always see me smile. I know how they do their shit here. They're stupid. Point is, where I'm at, this is not relevant to a damn thing. I'm done with this. I'm living my life, whether they like it or not, and they're trying to turn shit into their Disneyland. Point is, I'm done with their Disneyland. What the FBI can do is take responsibility for its profiling mistakes and start to tell people the truth, instead of my doing videos all of the time. I'm forced into doing these. I waste immense amounts of my time doing this shit, and I have no desire to be doing it. I shouldn't have to. That's the entire point. Point is, for people like Mike, Dawn, and between the two, Dawn and Mike, Dawn's the one I absolutely, I can't stand her more than Mike, obviously. Hello? That's just to make a point. Mike was stupid and balls to the walls disgusting, but he would not have gotten Saber deliberately raped. Hello? The thing with Dawn here is she was malicious and greedy and selfish. She's she's worse. She did this maliciously. So they just hit me up with bringing this up in a court, or they got one over on me. And I was like, well, this is what I would bring up in a courtroom anyhow. I'm not going to lie either. That's the entire point. This is why I never have to worry. I always speak the truth. As hard as it is for Jurgen to believe, that's the reality of it. And for people from the alternative media. Point is, I don't stay in anger and I don't live in hatred. But you coming at me constantly, you don't let you don't let shit become the past here. That's what's been going on the entire time. This is what I'm speaking about. That's the entire point here with the FBI. You're the ones keeping this alive, and you're the ones not letting this end. That's the entire point. I'm totally finished with it. That's why I said I just look at everything from real life here. There's no stalking on my end. Y'all get where I'm coming from? They keep screwing around with me, so I can't explain myself here. This is what I was trying to explain with my parents. So they're out of my life for good, and then they come at me and come back into my life and try and force themselves into my life. I'm going to be incredibly angry. I've put you and everything into the past here. You are coming at me. That is about your fucking issues. So we take a look at all of the wrong action in your energy at me and against me, all of your fucking up, all of the fucking me royally here, and you are going to get that back. Last time I checked, that's just common sense. I am justified in that. I have a right to be angry over that, don't I? Hello? So then we have sloppy profilers here try and turn it into, well, it's about agents or this or about that. You're not looking at me and my psychology and what it's actually about. Actually, it's about common fucking sense. Take a look at how they look at it. They try and slap a fucking stereotype and a label on it. Like it's Christian or Muslim or, hello? Police or, the list just goes on and on. That is a superficial level. It's not actually where I'm coming from, is it? I'm coming at this from real life and, common sense. You get it? It's not about their self-made issues here. So they invent a reason for why they got to keep doing it. Hello? That's not incompetent? It's no different with the FBI here. They have no right doing what they're doing at this point. They are the ones with something to learn, not me. And this is about they're screwing around with me, and they've gotten good points. They started affecting me when I started talking about Mike. In regards to that, I can't stand the guy, but it doesn't mean I'm going to lie about him in a courtroom. I'm not like Dawn. I'm not hateful. I just speak the truth. Hello? And that's something they checked. But getting back to the point, there's no difference here with the FBI. They are the ones with something to learn, not me. From my end of shit, it's already finished. And the point is, they are lying. But you don't want to believe that, then from their point of view, they are making mistakes. Now, if you go, well, if you're telling the truth, then they've got a right to be holding you in and collecting information. Actually, that in and of itself is a lie, and I'll tell you why. One, You're not asking yourself, what if it was you? Right then and there, if you were wearing these shoes, you would know what a goddamn lie that is. They've got no right doing it. Number two, now they're bumping out points because I have two more points to bring up here. And this is the point. They can't change it. In other words, they can affect me now in the moment, but 2 years, 3, at any point in time in my future here, I can look at this, analyze it, because I analyze it based on how I am. So it will always be the same answer. They're blocking it now, and time doesn't change shit. And that's for you, Jurgen. Now, the first point is, I've been held in 21 years extra. That's more than 2 decades of gang stalking. Hello? And the way you measure it, what is just, is based on cause and effect. 21 years extra of gang stalking, that right there qualifies me for going free. Next point, and key point, is they will never be able to get Horvat and or officers. The whole thing is an entire lie. And I gave willingly the CIA all the information I could for 2 years. So all the way around, American agencies have everything that they can and will have here. At the end of the day, both agencies know they cannot get Horvat and or officers out. So the whole thing is a lie. So for some people there in law enforcement saying, well, if what you're saying is true, they've got a right to hold you in, measure reality. They most certainly do not. The next point is, if it was you and your family, very quickly you would understand that there's nothing competent in regards to how the FBI is handling this. You should be free. There's no argument to it. That is just you pretending, living a lie, actually. So for that viewpoint, you selectively pick and put to the side, you forget all about what if it was you. Now we're playing secret agent here, and agents and agencies and law enforcement. The whole thing's a damn lie. But in regards to other things, you get me, like, well, how would you be with if this were you and your dad? You'd want to prove to him that he's a piece of shit before you leave and never see him again. It's real simple. We all get that one. We all get why I don't like Mike. We all get why I don't like Don, and on and on and on. But the point is, I don't live in that and keep it alive and stay in anger over it. It's in the past for me. You coming at me with it's a whole different ballgame. And the FBI here, furthermore, they're claiming to not understand my psychology, so let's take a look at it from there. In regards to all sorts of shit, they don't. That does not excuse them of their mistakes. They no longer get to be their own excuse for screwing up. What it gets down to is they're attacking me and holding me in because they don't understand me. Oh, well, that's what I'm talking about. So you've got issues of learning in regards to me. I'm not even a threat. You are the ones with all the action here. This is what I mean. You do not get to be your own excuse for screwing up anymore. You're not my parents here. You're supposed to be goddamn agents. Hello? So strangely enough, I expect to be freed here and finally be able to get my books out. Of course I do. And then start my next book, which is going to be on prophecies. And that will be it for my nonfiction. I want to be writing comedy, romance, and spiritual books. How to plug into God. It's not difficult. Just most people are all screwed up from religion in the first place. That's why I say in video, I'm not going to be going on and on about this when I get this book out in interviews. It's not stuff I'm going to be constantly speaking about. I don't want to stay in that energy. It's my book, my message, and that's it. How does anybody think it works? I do my next book. My next book, the interviews will be about that book. It's no different with David. So let's look again at reality here. And this is all real and true. What are they doing? They've got all this information, years of information, and you know what they've done? They've done nothing. Do you know what a dangerous mess this is? Do you have any idea? It's something both the CIA and FBI are looking at daily. It's an enormous mess. Extremely dangerous. So what should they be doing? They should be going after Horvat and our officers right now. That is what I said all the way back at the beginning when I first woke up the CIA. Said you need to be moving now and you need to take them out. Instead, what did they put their focus on? Relations with Germany. Holy shit. So now they've made their mess even worse. So if you're on their side with them holding me in and everything, you're just taking part in insane nonsense. You're not looking at the bigger picture here. I'm the only goddamn agent in this. I would have gone right to the Germans and told them. And at the end of the day, you know what would have happened? A lot of people would have been pinning medals on me. Point is, if you start to wake up, or at least start to sense that maybe this is real and true, and you're signed up with the FBI in that regard, just holding me in because that's what we're supposed to do, you're siding with extreme incompetence. Hello? It's the worst career move ever for anybody. Horvat and our officers are forced into retirement in about 10 years' time. They're going to try and run with this technology. It's going to be the biggest mess on the planet. That's what everybody is signed up for here. Since they're not going after Horvat and our officers, I'm like, well, it's done. I've given you more than enough information for getting them caught, but you haven't done it. So that tells me everything. So you're not going to do anything, but you're not pinning the tail on me. And I am not your fucking donkey. So when this is what you're doing, and this is what I wake up to every single fucking day, you ask yourself, are they in the right here? And how angry do you think I am with the FBI? But it's all self-invented on their end. So, do I or do I not have a right to be angry? You tell me. Do you honestly believe, if this is real and true and you're believing something else, do you honestly believe it changes anything with me here and the FBI in reality? And who do you think my issues are with? It's not about Mike, Dawn, all these other people out here. That's misdirection by the FBI. I saw when I went by Mike, I didn't give a shit. They kept trying to bring him up like I gave a shit. And I said, no, I could care less about him. He's not the issue or problem here. The FBI is. In all of the false context here. In real life, normal life here, no gang stalking, no FBI and all that shit. If I were to run into him, downtown, at the store, whatever, I just wouldn't say anything to him. I wouldn't give a shit. Wouldn't want to speak to him. Don't like the guy? Of course I don't. But that's it. Weaponizing him, trying to turn him into an issue, just forcing him into my life over and over and over. What's the real context here? I'm like, why is this still going on? What's the goddamn problem here? And furthermore, I'm looking at the FBI. That's the point. You have got a problem, not me. Furthermore, you're trying to hide behind gang stalking in regards to all of this. When I've been held in 21 years extra and you're still doing all of this, it's not about goddamn gang stalking. You're lying about my psychology and turning it into issues I don't have, and from a psychology I don't have, you do not change anything. You are the problem. That's the point. You are like my parents coming at me when I have already put you behind me. That's what I'm trying to do now. That's the point. They're just keeping this alive, not me. That's the entire point. You get it? Next point is, if this is where I'm at, which it is, then ask yourself why the FBI is being so heavy and extreme in the first place. They've mixed it up with people, and they're trying to sell, well, it's gang stalking, and he thinks he's in the middle of a cover-up. Well, I am, but I also get everybody else's end of the fence here. Your little FBI Disneyland that you're in, if you're not even questioning that this might be real and true. All the way around, nobody's got an excuse. 21 years extra of gang stalking. Hello? I've spent more than half my life in this shit now. Wrap your head around that one. They have no solution for Horvat and her officers here. So all the way around, it's a great big lie. And it's a dangerous one, and that's going to catch up with everybody here anyhow. The entire point, from my point of view, guess what? In real life here, that's the key point. And as the FBI knows, everybody's going to find out the truth in the end anyhow. When Horvat and her officers run, how do you think that works? Everybody's going to know I've been speaking the truth. Hello? And the next point is I'll be dead. So where do you think that puts me here? I want to be living my life now and enjoying it. Hello? I'll tell you why they're being heavy and extreme. It's the only way they can make me angry now. And then what they're doing is they're hijacking it with technology anger, and they're pushing in technology viewpoints, trying to make it look like I've got issues that I don't. That's exactly what is happening. And the way I've looked at it, I've looked at this. The police department's perspective, you all don't care. You're just worried about your own asses here. But the point is, you're going along with this, and actually, your police department has nothing to worry about, minus fucking up real heavy here. I expect the police here and the entire police department to start to realize that you're getting played by the FBI here. You're living lies if that's what you believe. Little newsflash, justice and God is on my side, not yours. I'm not worried at all. I just speak the truth about everything in the first place. And that is why I see that people are not able to analyze things correctly, and they're not paying attention to how the FBI does their business because they're tricked in the first place. You get it? If I am speaking the truth, which I am, and you're believing something else, then you've been tricked. So then look at what they've communicated to you, which has led to your false viewpoints. That's how you catch the FBI. And since you know the truth of the cover-ups and my being framed and all sorts of shit done to me here, I expect you all, plus you understand I've always been on a different level. Do you think I got better or worse? So I expect you all to start to understand that maybe I am telling the truth here, and maybe the FBI is actually lying to y'all and trying to play y'all. You get it? That's why they saw this months ago, back in July. Beginning of July, I think it was. I was like, well, I'll just go up to the police station and hand out a copy of my second book and just explain my circumstances to the police department, because that's actually where I'm at with you all. I'm on good terms. So then they brought up, this was about a week ago, well, we'll have corrupt cops pull you over and yank you out of the car, and when they throw you to the ground, will burst your hernia. And they're talking about affecting me with technology, technology anger. The reality is, I'm not going to get angry at all. I'm not stupid. I do not let emotions dictate my actions. It's not where I operate from in the first place. Point is, there's no reality to any of it for me. It's like a goddamn cartoon. How would it even get there in the first place, based on the police department being lied to? Point is, it's so far removed from where I am in regards to the police department, I don't even take this shit as real or true. You get it? This is like a goddamn cartoon. And there's nothing but non-stop bullshit like this going on all of the time with the FBI. And they're profiling it, and they're selling it to you. Hello? I hold people responsible for their mistakes. As long as you are not coming up to me with your goddamn problems over your own goddamn mistakes, I could care less about you, just like my own parents. Are we all finally fucking clear? Are we finally clear about who is keeping this going on and perpetuating it? Are we finally clear about why the FBI is being so heavy and extreme in the first place? Quite literally, how I live my life here. The only way they get a reaction is by being so heavy and extreme in the first place. And when I say a reaction, I mean mentally. I get angry. Of course I do. But this is the real reason why. So then what they do is they hijack me with technology anger and emotional states. Point is, it's not my level of anger. It's not even what I'm angry about. If it's not an end test for stalking, I'm doing a video. I bring something up for Jurgen or somebody else here, and it's something that I think about and it pisses me off in the moment. If I get to be myself, I just let it out in the video. I've got control over that, and that is what I'm angry about. And when it's me, then it's where I'm at. But it's out, and then that's it. You get it? As long as people understand that what I've communicated to them and they understand what I'm angry about, then they get it. I don't stay angry about it. But this is not what I'm experiencing here. And when I'm doing videos with the FBI, let's see, all the last couple of weeks. Hello? Really, it's been going on nonstop in videos. I've edited multiple videos 3 times now. 3. And I got to do, yet again, one more edit. Hello? And, you know, in no small part because they keep wiping my memory. And again, they can do these memory wipes. I just go right back to being myself. You know, hello? This is how they get away with lying about my perspective and everything. Like, I can't remember me. That's not how it works. I just don't get to explain myself in video. But the reality is, okay, you affect me, but down the road here, if I get to be normal, I will be able to speak about it, and it'll be all the same points regardless. What they are doing is hiding the real me. They are not changing me. That's the entire point. You get it? And I do not need the FBI's fucking up my life in my life. I know how to exist peacefully. The FBI are the ones with the issues. So they can get out of my life and they can learn on their own. And they can find somebody else for doing it with. I have no interest in explaining myself to these asswipes. No, nothing. I've more than explained myself. That's the entire point. It's like trying to wake up my parents, and that's going to happen with my father. If he doesn't wake up totally, he sure as hell is going to have a piece of his ass handed back to him anyhow. That's good enough for me. I'll be leaving the country, and that will be it for me and my parents. I put shit into perspective. I put it in the past. It's part of my profile. The FBI are the ones with the issues, and they are the ones not letting things end. They are the ones keeping it alive. Furthermore, they are the ones with their own issues and things to learn, not me. I get all of you. When you're so cheap and flaky to begin with, it's not difficult to get you. Furthermore, I've been profiling these asswipes based on their mistakes. They've lied about all sorts of their mistakes here. They're enormous. My father-in-law is dead over one of their mistakes. Hello? That's reality. My being angry about it does not change that. You understand? He is dead, and that is that. That cannot be changed. I cannot bring him to life by being angry about it. My cats also. But there's a difference with my cats here. This is many, many months later, and then they killed a bunch of my goddamn cats to try and make themselves look like it's all real and true. Hello? There was no mistake involved. You understand? There's a difference. Perfect world, I'd beat the shit out of this asshole. You're going to go into a courtroom and try and claim you're going to hide behind, it's this Indian or your own job titles, what have you. Actually, that's not real life. The real life is you're being worried about the actions you committed here. That's real life. Are you looking at yourselves honestly here? That's the difference between them killing my father-in-law and my cats. I can't stand that asshole back in Phoenix. It's common sense. You're going to try and vilify me for it? Forget it. This is me and the FBI in a courtroom. There's a scene from this movie, Lake Placid. Guy disappears. They're wondering where he is. They're looking for this 30-foot crocodile. And they're out there, and Oliver Platt's character finds the missing person. He goes, I found him, and he holds up a thumb. And then the other character looks at him, and he goes, he used to be bigger. And that will be the FBI and everybody here in a courtroom. So, measure reality correctly, analyze my psychology correctly, understand very clearly what the situation is. You're having more power does not equal winning. So the only option they've got is killing me, and I'm not playing this game of stalking because they're threatening to kill me. And they may very well do it because I will be going to the Russian embassy. That's based on their actions. So we see how that one goes. But the point is, they're trying to point a finger down there over their own actions, by the way, instead of focusing right here and now and all of the mistakes that have been committed and the real picture here. And that is regardless of what side of the fence you're on. Either you're starting to wake up and realize, well, maybe he's telling the truth, which I am. But if you don't want to believe that, and you want to believe it's just a bunch of mistakes, well, in the end, the FBI is still in the wrong here. The point is, for you to be pointing a finger down the road here means you are not fixing your mistakes right here and now. That is not an excuse. You do not get to be an excuse for your own mistakes anymore. You understand? So they just looked. It's just moments later. I'll tell you exactly where I am in the scheme of things here with Horvat and our officers, the rogue agents, and the CIA and FBI here. That's between them. The FBI and CIA can have their officers taken out, but they've chosen not to do it. That is not on me. When that is the case, then the reality is Horvat and our officers could run tomorrow. Point is, I'm not a goddamn agency, am I? That is on agencies here. I am out of the picture in regards to all of that. That's exactly where I'm at. That's the other one they looked at. It's not like I'm going to be carrying a torch for Horvat and our officers. I'm just going to speak the truth about it, but it's not a goddamn revenge campaign. They've lied entirely about this the entire time. If that's what you believe, which I can analyze here and see, that's probably what they've sold. It's a pile of shit. You know, as a point, I was just thinking about this. How will the FBI try and get out of this? And I brought up my cats back in Phoenix and them killing my cats. And they affected me in video, the agents in Phoenix. And the way that I get there is I take mental snapshots. Anytime they affect me, I make a mental note about it. Furthermore, these mental notes just go deep down into my memory bank. I have a very unusual and gifted memory. And all groups of agents have witnessed me getting past the technology in regards to memory. It's because my memory's so good in the first place. It's true. So they haven't been telling the truth about how my consciousness and this technology interacts. And the reality is, because my memory is so unusual, it's unusual from the majority of the world population. This is what I'm talking about. It's a real gift. You ever seen on YouTube these people can they will see a scene of the city, like they're there, and then they go home and they're able to draw it back in every single detail. Their memory's better than mine, but my memory is similar to that. Now, as a result, it interacts with this technology different than how they are used to with all normal people here in regards to memory. You understand? And this is one point of many. Many. So the point is, I remember being back in Phoenix. I was bringing up the situation about my cats, which is how I got here. That's the point. It's based on a real memory of my being affected in regards to this subject in Phoenix. I'm speaking to Jurgen, and the point, I think I brought it up in a following video that I did get affected in that video. The point is, that agent in Phoenix, he knew he was killing my cats and he had no justification. It was all for selling a lie about my profile and to make it look like they're telling the truth. So the point is, the way the FBI has gotten away with lying is they'll point to lies in regards to the past. They'll say, well, look, this isn't what he said here in Phoenix. Well, the reality is I got affected. I measure reality based on how it is every single fucking time. So the key point here is, if they refer to anything from the past and it, quote, proves their point, guess what? They are lying to you about that thing from the past in the first place. It's a lie built on top of a lie. You get it? Furthermore, they're selling technology as being mine. What I'm doing is pointing out how they do their business here. So quite obviously, I cannot stand this agent in charge from Phoenix. And that is the difference between him murdering my father-in-law, which was a mistake. Yeah, he's a sloppy fuck-up and disgusting like Mike in one way. There's no question the guy's a piece of shit. But then take a look at the situation with my cats here. At that point in time, they were awake and they knew that Horvat and her officers are rogue and that the CIA did a cover-up with them also. So, do not tell me I do not have a right to be angry at them. It's that fucking simple. Why do you think I've got my dead babies, my dead cats in those music videos? And in videos, period. That sums up everything in regards to my circumstances and the FBI here, period. So if you're going to take sides with the FBI here, take a look at what you're involved in and take a look at what side you're on here. And furthermore, take a look at why. Because at the end of the day, you got nothing on your side of the fence. They're not getting Horvat and her officers. They've got no solution, and they've got no reason for holding me in now. It's between Horvat and her officers and agencies, and I could care less. As a result of the non-action of agencies here, Horvat and her officers are a plague on agencies. They have the power to do something, but they're not taking action. And they're not taking action because they're letting their own emotions get in the way. Eat shit from any goddamn agency here. So now let's take a look at Horvat and her officers. At least they are honest about themselves. That's where they win total fucking points with me. Doesn't mean I'm going to take sides with them, because that's not where I'm at either. But in comparison, I like them because at least they are honest about all this shit. This program of gang stalking and Coinal Pro, and you just kill without even thinking shit through, analyzing shit correctly. The insanity of it all, you're going to kill SpongeBob, you know, well, it's not even real, but we're going to kill over it, and this and that. The whole thing is just, it's one great big delusional world of agents and agencies here. So then take a look at it from my point of view. So agents do not want to clean up their own problem, just like my father here not wanting to clean the house up, like he can't do it. So then he's unhappy as a result. Imagine that one. He can't figure out why he's unhappy. The guy's a moron. It's the same thing here with agents and agencies. So I'm like, well, you're too stupid to do what needs to be done here. Correct action. And instead, you're reacting out of emotion and fears here in relations with Germany. So they've actually made shit worse here. And it's between them. I'm like, well, good for you. Let Horvat whack all of them. You think I like the goddamn FBI here and the CIA? Fucking forget it. That is your own self-made problem. Furthermore, that is the reality of what's going on. Unauthorized murder. I'm like, good. Let Horvat and her officers whack all of you. When you're that fucking stupid, good riddance. Fuck all of you. But then take a look at my process here and how I get there. You're too fucking stupid to clean up a mess and you already know how to do it. So then you go dumping it on me? Fuck you. Good riddance to all of you. Point is, it's all based on divine law. I don't get my goddamn hands dirty a goddamn bit. This is what they're doing to themselves. Think I give a shit? Good riddance. I get to enjoy that. It's over their own fucking decision-making in the first place. I don't get my hands dirty a goddamn bit. And take a look at how they try and dump it on me. They lie about my psychology in regards to all of this. Fuck all of you if you're too stupid to handle this responsibly. Then take a look at what the FBI is selling in regards to all of this. And my psychology. This is where I'm at. Not the Disneyland they are selling or the issues over there which they're trying to sell. I'm like Putin. I'm over here on the side laughing at them. That's your own self-created shit. And it's going to get yourselves killed. Anybody siding with the FBI, you've got no idea as to what is going on here. And if you want to believe it's all delusional and self-invented, believe whatever you want. So they're trying to take their actions and their circumstances and their mess and their inability to handle things competently here, and they're trying to turn it into me. I got to give a shit about them? Oh, the fuck I do. Is that how you would be if you were wearing my shoes? Dead, let's see, dead father-in-law, all of my dead cats, torture, all this shit being done. Is that where you would be? No. For you to claim anything else, you have to lie. And furthermore, you trying to claim it, everybody knows it is a lie. That's reality. So I most certainly do not have to give a shit. I'm not laying a finger on anybody. I'm actually done with this, and I am over here. I am laughing at their own self-invented mess and suicide fest because they're worried about relations with Germany. Hello? This is between agencies and Horvat and our officers. It's done, and I am done with all of it. It is the CIA's problem and the FBI's problem, period, end of story. And that's where I was in 2017 also. And that got lied about. The difference is I see how they've lied about my psychology, so what I am doing is pointing it all out. Trying to explain myself so you can see my real psychology instead of what they are selling. And constantly they're pointing over there, pointing to the future, which is a lie. No, you need to be right here and now, looking at all of the mistakes here the entire way. For that to happen down there, you've got to continue making the same mistakes, strangely enough. Hello? They do not get to be their own excuse for their mistakes anymore. So they can accept that they don't get me, and they can get out of my life here regardless. Like they're not going to be watching me anyhow. Focus is going to be on my book, interviews, money, and getting out of the country. It's real simple. I'm not going to be a lot of fun to be watching. And I'm going to be getting in really good shape again, period. Hello? That's your threat to agencies? That's a lie. When you get my real psychology, then you get that is where I am going with my life here. I'll be getting a lawyer. My dad's going to eat shit. Then I'm going to go, no more contact with my parents. You get it? Then I'll be living in another country. I have to be making at least $1,000 a month steady income, which is fine because I'll be getting more books out. And, I will already be working on my prophecy book. And that will be that. I want to get citizenship in another country. Preferably, by the way, south of the equator. But if I'm still being held in and I've got respect for Russia here and, and they follow God's law. They saw this back in Phoenix. Putin does. It's why things have worked out to the benefit of Russia here in terms of what's been going on. And last but not least, how stupid do you think I am? Russia has one of the best agencies in the world. So, how much sense does it make that I would move to Fiji and hope that their agency catches the FBI and CIA here? You get me? So, all the way around, I would be going to them. I have faith in their abilities. So, but the point is, it always gets turned into something that it isn't on my end. You understand? But for it to get there, it's based on them just continuing to screw up. And again, that's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. Oh, we're agents, so we just get to keep on making our mistakes within our own illegal government program here? That's not real life. That's not how it works. Your job title does not excuse you of fucking up. And not when I'm the one paying for your goddamn mistakes and paying for your goddamn lie here. A few more points here, and then I'm going to end the video. From their point of view, it's like real and immediate. It's like they've got a speaker on and they're just hearing me and it's blasting at them. The reality is it's a bunch of bullshit what they run through my head because they're constantly wrong about me in the first place. You understand? So I don't take any of their shit seriously. They're just a bunch of goddamn fuck-ups. I ignore them to the best of my ability, like my parents. But they're not like my parents when they're torturing and murdering. Are they? Hello? And killing. Hello? And that is what I mean, and that is the proof. I can pass gang stalking. They've been lying about it. But this isn't about gang stalking for me anymore either. I've already moved past that point now. So I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing a game. I don't have a right to be angry. I'm not playing a game of this or that. I'm not interested in the FBI's mistakes. Free me and get out of my life. Stop making my psychology about yours. I don't care what anybody believes no more than I do German agents or my parents. You say, well, with your dad, it's different. Yeah, it is different. Nothing's stopping that. Those are particular circumstances, but you should still get the point instead of trying to see it differently than how it is. The reality is, once I move, that's it. They are out of my life. I'm not wasting a moment thinking about them. You get it? And will you remember the past with agents and agencies, you think? Like it's a big deal. Same way with my parents here. Of course I'm going to remember shit. Doesn't turn me into a threat. That's real life. The entire thing is about them not letting go of shit, not me. I've got a life to live, and they are their own problem. I could care less about their goddamn problems. You can't get me? Then get out of my life and look from there. I'm all done with everybody's Disneyland here. Done with agents and agencies here. I'm done with the incredible, just the sheer amount of fucking up here and the sloppy profiling, you name it. Bottom line, I make my choices based on my psychology, not yours, and not the psychology you think I have. Everybody has just put it's cheap profiling. It's sloppy. And they're affecting me. Hang on. They've tried making it about people from the alternative media, like I'm angry, like I'm carrying a torch for certain people from alternative media. That's to continue to sell lies to the alternative media. They may have let the police department in on that. I don't know. Maybe not. They most certainly have with German agents. The point is I put things into context. Point is, I'm going to end the video here. The point is, no matter what side of the fence you are on here, the FBI is in the wrong. Of course I expect to be freed. I expect to be freed based on where I'm at. Furthermore, I expect people to realize I've been held in 21 years extra. 21 years of gang stalking extra as a result of this shit. When that is the case, I expect people to, I expect to have no problems when I get this book out and interviews. Of course I don't. Once I've done that, my next book. Hello? I'm getting out of the country and I'm going to live my life. When that is the case, when you get where I'm going with my life, you get that none of this should be going on anymore anyhow. So that's it. And that's where I'm at. I'm moving on with my life. I'm done with people having problems with me and issues. That's your problem. You're the ones not peacefully coexisting. You're the ones not getting my psychology. That's on you. I could care less. You're like my parents. You're like German agents. I could care less. There is no over there. It's where I'm at here and now, my real psychology, and it's over. So I expect this to be over, and I expect to be going free here, and my book out and everything. That's it. When you get here and now, you get there is no over there. So that's it. I'm done with the video, finally, and thank fucking God. I don't want to be doing this shit. I got shit to do here. I got my next book to do. One last point here. What the FBI's been worried about is that people from the police department will start to wake up and realize I've been given a bad deal here. Very raw fucking deal. That's what they're worried about. They're worried that people are going to start to see the truth of them, and the reality is they've got no reason for continuing it. Hello? So that's it. So that's it. I'm going to put a song here at the end, same one I've been putting at the end of videos here. It sums up the FBI, their hypocrisy, where I am at, and you know, where God is at in the scheme of things here. It most certainly is not on the side of the FBI. The whole thing here with the FBI is a lie. I expect to be freed based on where I'm actually at in regards to my psychology, and I expect people to get my psychology based on what I'm pointing out here in regards to it in videos. It's that simple. If you see my psychology, you understand the FBI is full of shit. I've already moved on to the next stage with my life here. There is no more gang stalking. Your ignorance is not the same as gang stalking anyhow. You're mixing everything up. You're screwing up in regards to profiling and gang stalking in the first place. That's the entire point. Furthermore, I'm not even there anymore. It's real simple in regards to the FBI. If I am speaking the truth, and they have convinced you of different viewpoints here, take a look at what they've sold you and look at their motives. It's that simple. If I'm speaking the truth and you believe something else about me, then you're believing a lie. So look at what they sold you. You can start to analyze how they are lying to you and trying to manipulate you. That's how you become good at this. Hello? I gotta school my homies and peeps here? Give me a break. Next point is I'm forced into explaining this, and it's the last thing in the world I want to be doing. I'm literally forced into doing it. So that's it. I expect to be freed and book out and, no more problems. That's exactly what I expect. Why wouldn't I?
In this vision, I was shot up into the heavens and looking down on the earth like you would look at a satellite picture. You see it every time you see the weather. It looked somewhat similar, and I had supernatural vision. I looked down and I saw a massive military movement coming out of the Icelandic waters up above Iceland. I couldn't believe my eyes in what I saw. I saw this massive military movement coming out of this area up in here. It came down in the Atlantic, down between the United States and Europe. It was marine and air, as you can see the airplanes. This was my first confirmation in the sense from General Walker. General Walker has given me many confirmations. This was my first picture of actually that they had drawn this assault taking place. It shows also the movement coming out of Europe across to take these countries, and NATO command center is right in here. So you're looking at some very serious fronts that Russia has been building and has. This massive military movement coming down between the United States and Europe just troubled me as I'm watching it. So then I looked off across at the United States wondering, well, if they're doing that across the Atlantic, what are they doing on the United States? That's too big to just be a maneuver. And I looked down, and as I looked across at the United States, I first saw the eastern seaboard, or the Atlantic seaboard, and I looked and I saw these submarines look like they were parked right along our beaches, all the way along the East Coast. And I saw these submarines along the Pacific coast, and I began to look all the way down as I looked down in towards San Diego. There they were, along our coasts. And as I was looking down towards San Diego, all of a sudden I saw motion all across the United States, and these radio towers, it's like they were coming out of the ground and going up into the air, and then they were dotting their lines out like they were broadcasting. And I was made to know that they were sounding the alarm. But as they began to sound the alarm, all of a sudden the broadcasting signals went out and they sprinkled to the ground like dust. And I was made totally aware in the vision that the warning was not getting through. And I shouted in the heavens and I said, "Oh no, Lord, the warning isn't getting through. They won't even know what hit them." And as I said that, all of a sudden, the first missile fired out of a submarine, and it went up and it hit right over New York City. I watched that city literally disintegrate into the atmosphere as that massive explosion took place. I mean, it was gone, folks. There'll be nothing left of that city. Then all of a sudden I looked down along the coast and about where I would say be about Miami, Florida. And I told them down there last night, and they weren't too happy to hear that. And I said, and Miami disappeared. And then all of a sudden, because I was seeing this happen here, I looked away then. So I don't know if there were more explosions took place between those two as far as the coastal area. I didn't see it. My concern was over toward Oregon again because my family was in Portland at that time. As I was looking over toward Portland, I saw another explosion, and it looked like it was in the area of Seattle, Bellevue. That area went up, just like New York and Miami. Then all of a sudden I looked down, and here's another one going off, and it looked like the San Francisco area. Then down about Los Angeles, just about to Los Angeles, and then San Diego. I saw those 5 nuclear-looking explosions. And I tell you, they literally devastated everything.
Parachuting down into our neighborhoods so that they can enter our homes and take us captive.
So in the dream, I was in Virginia Beach, oceanfront, but it didn't look like that. I just somehow knew that that's what it was. We were in a tank of all vehicles or some sort of armored truck. And we were on an overpass looking down into the city, watching on the beach a tsunami just start to develop and rise up. And it just overtook this city. It was like targeted, fixated on this city. And I'm seeing all of these people fighting on the city streets. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, we're being invaded right now. And I remember all the people were of like Asian descent or like the Chinese military. And that goes along the lines of my last dream where I saw Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi Jinping in a rice paddy talking about destroying America. But like I said, I don't dream very often. And when I do, they're usually very vivid and very odd.
I've had several dreams about Russia. But this dream 2 weeks ago, the dream said that our leaders had sold us out to Russia. I posted a video about another dream that I had, which was a full-blown invasion. And I figured out it was 2025, or that's what I thought the dream was leading me towards. A full-blown invasion by 2025. And if that was a prophetic dream, that's not far off. This is 2022, middle of 2022 right now. There is a Pastor Dana Coverstone who's on YouTube. You can look him up, and he had some dreams about invasions from Chinese soldiers, UN soldiers, Russian soldiers on U.S. soil.
Someone reminded me of this old Dimitri Duduman prophecy, and I went and looked it up, and wow. Does it ever seem to apply to today? I'm going to read this now. The Russian president began to speak to the Chinese one. I will give you the land with all the people, but you must free Taiwan of the Americans. A voice said to me, watch where the Russians penetrate America. All these words being written, Alaska, Minnesota, Florida. Then the man spoke again. When America goes to war with China, the Russians will strike without warning. The 2 presidents spoke. We too will fight for you. Each had a place already planned as a point of attack. America will be at war with China. Russia will attack. And 2 other nations will join the Russians in this surprise attack. All of them shook hands and hugged. Then they all signed a contract. One of them said, we're sure that Korea and Cuba will be on our side too. Without a doubt, together we can destroy America. The president of Russia began to speak insistently. Why let ourselves be led by the Americans? Why not rule the world ourselves? They have to be kicked out of Europe too. Then I could do as I please with Europe. The man standing beside me asked, this is what you saw. They act as friends and say they respect the treaties made together. But everything I've shown you is how it will really happen. You must tell them what is being planned against America. Then, when it comes to pass, the people will remember the words the Lord has spoken. America's sin has reached God. He will allow this destruction, for he can no longer stand such wickedness.
November 26, 5:30 p.m. Here's a good example, Jurgen, of how I do things and where I'm coming from, and then the idiots I deal with here. So I clean my teeth. I have these dental tools. And usually if I eat flesh, if I eat meat, I clean my teeth out. The real reason is not because I'm Mr. Clean, Mr. Proper here. I've got to, I'm got to be clean. And then maybe if you're these agents, you're like, well, his mother and father are so disgusting. So it's like he's kind of got like a negative reaction to not being clean because of his parents. This is how these agents would do their profiling. So then they find out, well, I do it because of my intelligence level and where I'm at and how I analyze reality. What's the reality? You have rotting pieces of meat, Jurgen, rotting between your teeth, and that's what causes bad breath. That's one point, and that's because of all of the bacteria. The next point is it's disgusting. It is literally rotting meat, like a dead animal, a tear on the road, if you think about it. So what I do is I always clean my teeth out. I've got these Zonarts tools, and I clean my teeth out, and then I wash my mouth out with antiseptic, something that kills the bacteria. This is just good dental hygiene, keeping my mouth clean. But the reason is I look at the reality of it. It's rotting pieces of meat. I want rotting meat in my mouth? Give me a break. Really, it's got to do with my intelligence level and my just looking at the reality of it. So I clean my teeth out, and then I use an antibiotic type of mouthwash. You get it? But the way these agents are, they just look at it superficially. Pop psychology, Freud and penis envy, and they're always looking at labels. It's just cheap psychology. So they would go, oh, well, he's Mr. Clean here. He's Mr. Proper, Mr. Sober. And he gets it because his parents are so dirty, hello? And then they could ask me a question, have somebody ask me a question. I'll be like, yeah, my parents are filthy and disgusting. And then they would think they're correct, and they're correct all the way they're incorrect. But they've proven to themselves they're correct. This is a perfect example of what I go through. It's all of the time. I don't need you for fucking up my life here. You don't have to get me. You can get out of my life. You're watching me 24/7 anyhow. It'll be real clear where I'm coming from. Strangely enough, it's exactly what I've been saying in videos. Hello?